Welcome back. Another fantastic Friday. Woo!
Yeah, we had a week off.
Well, that's right.
We did.
Yeah.
Well, now we got 2 weeks of thrill-packed energy to unleash the world. I'm here with Art, Kevin, and we're back after a week off. We've got a crew of gentlemen here this afternoon on Friday, Memorial Day weekend coming up. Art, make the introductions. Talk to everyone.
Talk to everyone. So we've got Kevin Neal's on board, of course, P3ID. Felix Villanueva. Did I pronounce that right?
You did, you got it.
Field Management Consulting. And Kevin Frey from Matrix, correct? Yes.
Maytag.
Maytag, baby.
So we were off last week. We didn't have a show. So first show in a couple of weeks. What's new on your end, Greg, while I bring up my notes?
You bring it up. Let's see. New on our end. Lots of stuff going on our end in terms of the little group we got together. But in the copier world, boy, every week it's a struggle. Every week it is still a struggle. Scan stuff, right, Kevin?
Yeah.
What's going on with the scanner world?
You're a little hard to hear, Greg. So just so people, but yes, what's going on in the scanner world? So scanning continues to be a functionality that is more often used than printing. Well, I mean, printing, I'm not saying more often, but a percentage of use versus printing continues to increase. And I hear that over and over and over again. So there's people are digitizing documents and trying to print less, of course. So this is becoming a trend, and it's encouraging to see some of the copy machine manufacturers focus more on the scanning functionality, like have more advanced image processing features like deskew, despeckle, blank page deletion, auto rotation, auto color detection, all those kind of advanced image processing features. Then also getting into IDP. Some of the copy machine manufacturers are announcing intelligent document processing. That means you could do semi-structured forms and unstructured forms capture instead of just a zone OCR to get data. You can actually find bits of data on a page. So anyways, the MFP industry is leaning into scanning. So it's encouraging to see this.
I have good news for Kevin Frey.
What's that?
Xerox released dividends of 2.5 cents a share.
Whoa. I can party like a rock star, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That keeps them on the board, right?
Yeah, it keeps them on the board, and I guess the investors are liking that they're getting some type of money out of them.
Well, Kevin Neal, I got a rebuttal for you on that scanning thing. Okay,
fair enough.
Future challenge is likely not simply AI capability. It's going to be governed autonomous infrastructure behavior.
Govern autonomous infrastructure behavior.
All right, layman's words. Come on.
That means they need to protect the everything from the identity, the attribution, the auditability, lifecycle trust, operational governance, all that stuff.
So why is that a retribution? Was that a rebuttal?
I meant that wasn't really a rebuttal. I was turning my head at the time, and my cord was stuck on my speaker boom, so it caused me to have a short.
So Kevin, I don't want to go there yet, but I read about quantum for PDFs, so maybe we can. But exactly, identity and security and secure networks and all that kind of stuff. It all comes into play, and once you digitize stuff, it's got to be secure. You got to be able to read it. So yeah, it's.
Are we the only two that think that this is the most awesome time in our industry right now?
I said it this morning.
Did you really?
Art and Greg heard it. I said it yesterday. I said, it's an amazing time to be alive. It really is. Not just a technology person, but anybody, your life can be enhanced, right? Really, through.
My rebuttal would be, it's always an amazing time to be alive.
It is. It is.
Mine is it's always better than the alternative.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, it's interesting. Kevin Neal. I'm gonna start calling you K Neal and K Frey,
There you
right?
go. Yep.
So, K Neal, 2 years ago, you had that guy at Twain in Tampa from wasn't he did identity? Was it iVault?
iVault, yep. Yeah. So
Are
What's
they
that?
still
What
doing
was
that?
more than ever. Or and I'll give you an example. Their business has expanded, so they still do multi-factor authentication. That's where they started, and but that's what they do is they prove your identity through a lot of different factors. Okay, so and the way that it started at the show, like you said, they were multi-factor authentication, but now they're using human in the loop for AI identities. They also have a secure service called DocuID, so that when you upload PDFs, instead of just a simple password protected PDF, you actually have to authenticate to the PDF. In other words, it pings me on my phone and you email it to me, and I have to ping me on my phone and I have to authenticate with my face or my voice. So you have to do multi-factor
Oh,
authentication to the content itself and not
oh,
the application. So the whole point is that if they, to Kevin F's point, so if you layer on these security, you got a multi-factor authentication to the application, then you have to multi-factor authentication to the content itself. Then you have to multi-factor authentication to the AI agents. Now, in reality, that's overkill, right? Because you'll get pinged all the time. It'll be excessive. You'll get a lot of false positives. But at this early stage, you just want to be careful, right? You don't want to deploy Claudebot or Nymphos or whatever those AIs are calling, and they're crawling your network and they're trying to, unlock things because you said, go find me the data. And they're doing what they think is right and checking passwords and checking and saying, "Oh, look at this file share. I'll just go get the data there, and I'll get the data there, and I'll get your financial records here, and your healthcare records here, and your product roadmap here, and it's all in your AI." And you want to be, "Oh, whoops, that accidentally happened," but it did exactly what it was supposed to do, right? So, anyways, long story short, Art, is that everything it's everything is bound by your identity and proving who you are, whether you're a machine or you're a human. That's super important. If you get that right, then you're not like trying to put band-aids on stuff. It starts identity is at the core. So yes, you got me on my soapbox, Art. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
So no more authenticating at the panel then.
Yeah, exactly. You authenticate at the beginning, right? At the core. Yes.
are they marketing? Are they trying to get a hold of dealers yet? Office equipment dealers, or they're just focused in enterprise?
No, the dealers will use it, need it, but they're more focused on integrating their stuff into applications. So in other words, if a new DCA comes online and you want to authenticate to the DCA, then you'll authenticate through them to the application, then to the content. So
oh, it's
so they'll
through
look at
them. Oh,
Would
okay,
he
okay.
do business directly with like PDF? You know, not
Mhm.
PDF, Adobe.
Adobe?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. They use PDF a lot. Yes, yep.
Oh, well, it's Mythos, not Nymphos.
Yeah, whoops. Whoops.
I'm familiar with Nymphos, and they are not the same thing. Just to let you know.
Well, Greg, I'm thinking you're going to have trouble authenticating either way.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Because Kevin said you had to prove you're human.
I don't even
Oh.
want to go there. Superhuman is.
Sometime I think you're just AI or IA. I can't remember.
I'm IA.
You're IA.
All right, let's do a quick rundown of news and see where we go from there. As I told Kevin Frey earlier, Xerox announced a 2.5 cents per share dividend. So Kevin was pretty happy about that. Kyocera, here's another one of those awards from Keyport Intelligence. Kyocera wins 2026 A4 Line of the Year, and we are in May.
Expect many Kyocera banners on the Keypoint website.
Yes.
How much do those awards cost now?
Some of them are pretty cheap.
Are they?
Yeah, one banner here and you get an award. So if you pay for a $300 banner, you get some sort of award.
Okay. I was just curious.
Awards are good. Let's see, what else? Copier industry. I don't think there's going to be a lot of news. Greg, are you familiar with Pharos?
The IRS?
Pharos,
Oh,
Pharos.
oh, Pharaohs. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Know
they
those
just,
guys a long time ago.
yeah, they're MPS, right? They're big on MPS.
They had some MPS. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this seems like they're doing MPS for wide format now because they just released something called the Blueprint 6.1.
Oh. Oh, good.
There's anybody here ever been to the FESPA show? No?
What is it? No.
Some type of print show. There's been some stuff
Never
on the
even heard of
press
it.
releases for EFI.
I heard it was pretty good. I got it. I didn't go, but I had some friends sending me some leads, so it seems pretty happening.
Oh, it's in Europe.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Europe. And then, if I remember correctly, isn't EFI owned by Epson now?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here for copiers. Not much. Stargell Office Solutions acquired a dealer.
Uh-huh. I did see that. So there's
Yeah.
still some acquisitions going on out there.
Yeah, and Kyocera released some new A3 devices, and one of them is a light production. I didn't go read into depth about that. But that, Greg, let's talk. Where was my mind going with what we heard about Kyocera today?
I mean, the Japanese.
Taiwan.
Oh, the investor from Taiwan. Yeah, there's what is it? There's investment capital inside Kyocera from the Taiwan not a VC, but funding, right? Which is unique for Japan because the Japanese firms don't usually allow outside influences. So it's
Yeah.
and what did you say? I think it's like 30%. Don't they have a 30% stake in it, or is that something else I'm thinking of?
Could have been. I
It's
skimmed
I
the
think
press
it's
release.
Yeah, don't take
I,
that. I could be wrong. Yeah.
I thought it was something like 32.4% is now outside funding or outside influence
Right.
in the
That's it.
Japanese market.
Yeah, which is unique, and it is, right? Because they usually
Yeah.
circle the wagons. And if I remember correctly, there's activists involved with that. So I think the stockholders, quote unquote, are trying to oust the current CEO or some sort of drama like that.
Chairman of the board and some
Chairman, yeah.
board members. And it was
Right.
interesting because when I read a little bit further, I actually read that Xerox, I'm not Xerox, Kyocera now has plans to buy back some of their stock.
Yeah.
So what do you think the positioning is with these manufacturers? What is, we hear the sky is falling down, print is falling off, yada yada. And then we hear on the other side that the manufacturers are posturing and positioning themselves for what? Why would somebody come in and invest in 30%?
Good question. I read today between Oki, Xerox, not Oki, Rico, and Toshiba. They're trying. They want the market share of the engines, so they want to build that market share of that laser engine that they're building. And I guess with the laser engine comes the consumables as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about the consumption.
But I get your point. I mean, if consumption is dropping, why would you get in?
Right. That's the part I'm not understanding. Kyocera is releasing new lines. I mean, I'm sure they're just a regurgitation of some of them, but I'm just saying, they spelled one word wrong in Portuguese or something on it, so they had to make a new model.
I think you're saying something bigger than print. Okay. So I've been on both sides of this, the investee and the investor, because I used to work for a Japanese company. Japanese companies make wonderful technology, but they don't tend to move very fast. Okay. So we're moving fast in the United States. We move to cloud and we're willing to try stuff. They want perfect technology, right? We iterate. They make good technology from the beginning. So so it's just a culture difference. So the way that you move faster is you have outside investment and different kinds of thinking, business thinking. Poor Japan's been in a recession for 30 or 40 years.
Yeah.
Again, making good technology, but just not fast enough. You have to be fast anymore in AI. So is it printers that is the investment, right? We heard about a company that, well, there was two thoughts, right? There was what do they say? The spreadsheet thinking, right?
Yeah.
Versus the diversification of technology, right? So if you have diversification of technology, that means you're not just focused on the print segment anymore. You're venturing into AI and software applications and security and different kinds of things in your portfolio. And of those companies that are leading the capitalization is those that are diversifying. They're not spreadsheet thinking. So I know that's kind of vague, but that's the pattern that's emerging that I'm seeing that the numbers are
That was
proving.
pointed out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because of market share. Because what? Canon has the highest market share, but don't they have the most number of patents or some sort of
Yeah, they do.
external? There's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something
Whenever
else
their
there.
press releases come out, they always tell how many how many patents they have.
And
They're typically year over year in the top 10, usually in the top 5 for US patents.
Oh, wow. Okay. So there's something there. And then Kyocera is ceramics, right? Yeah, Kyocera does ceramics. They do the knives. They have ceramic knives.
Yep.
And there was something else that they did. Okay.
They only got into copiers 20,
Yeah, not that
25
long
years
ago.
ago when they bought
Yeah.
Nita.
so that's the point. The diversification of your revenues is important, right? You can't have all your eggs in one basket. So those companies so my point is that a Japanese company that's makes good technology, but takes a long time to perfect it, and they're perfectionists, no fault,
Right.
but if you want to try new markets and expand in new markets, and you have the investments from outside sources that, will drive that innovation and help them get there. So
Hmm.
anyway, I used to work at Fujitsu I'll disclose that, right? And they had a cloud service, when cloud was coming around, and they thought they can compete on a worldwide basis against the big guys, right? And it didn't work out. So that's a perfect example of they had technology infrastructure, number one in Japan, no doubt about it. But can you compete on a worldwide basis? That's hard to do.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
another turn. Yeah.
So did anybody catch the Xerox was in the news again? But this is in Australia, where back about 9 years ago, and one of the guys
Oh.
finally went to jail for smuggling in 22 kilos of coke
Okay.
in Xerox machines.
White toner.
That's one of them deals where they kept putting up a service call and the tech kept bringing it in, dumping it in there. Hey, Greg, they stole that from our knowing about the Pentagon and all of the ambassadors that were using copiers back in the day with the Cold War. Now they're just dropping off more tone, more. It ain't toner. Oh, you need more toner. Wink.
There you go.
So I just thought that was interesting because it took 9 years for the third person to finally, I guess, get convicted.
Wow.
So how is it that Brother is being sued?
What are they being sued for?
Because do you know that who invented the touchscreen on the copiers?
Oh, no.
BlackBerry.
Okay.
So they have a cease and desist on their product right now because it's in discussion about who owns the rights to the touchscreen.
Wow.
And I'm seeing that this is going to probably fall right on down to all the manufacturers, ain't it?
That's what I was just thinking.
They're all using the same one, but apparently BlackBerry's been sitting back there knowing that everybody's been using their technology, but it's owned by them.
That's a strategy sometimes. You get this massive adoption, then you go sue everybody,
Right.
right, for patent infringement.
And that's exactly where it's at right now. I was reading
I was reading the lawsuit, but it sounds like it started back. It almost sounds like originally it sounded like they were originally also trying to throw a loop in there and say part of our damages in the phone was because everybody was using our technology, which minimized their signature, their capability signature. But I don't know if that's where it's going or not. I stopped following it a little bit, but I thought maybe you guys had keeping up on it a little bit more.
No, I didn't catch it.
Did Apple steal it too then?
So somewhere along there, there's a separation between the BlackBerry technology. The way I think I got this right. Correct me, I could be wrong on getting backwards. One of them is short circuit. It's touch. You're touching an active screen, and
Okay.
then the other one is not. It's a quadrant thing or something. I'm
Okay.
not really sure which one, and I think Apple might be using that other one, but like I said, I got involved in it last week because obviously we have an interest in that part of it. But
Isn't it ironic that I love my BlackBerry back in the day because
Oh,
it had a hardware keyboard. I couldn't
Loved
stand
it.
touchscreen. I still
Loved it.
can't stand it, right? But so the company that has a patent on touchscreen was famous for the hardware keyboards.
that's right, Kevin.
But BlackBerry had a secure network back in the day, right? So they were
Boy,
like one of the only.
they were great.
Yeah,
Those things were great. I mean,
yeah.
maybe it was the timing when they came out, but I remember when they first came out, we first dispatched, everyone got a BlackBerry. I had my dispatch person. She was on vacation in the Everglades, still taking and dispatching. No one knew she was gone because, and this is out from California because she was on her BlackBerry.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. I said, "Oh wow, this is pretty cool."
She had
Yeah,
upgraded from her pager to her BlackBerry.
we all did. We got them from work, and then yeah, from the pager, alphanumeric.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, and then well, actually, it was Nextels.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was a blast. But that BlackBerry, and then we call them crackberries.
Mhm.
Everyone could do those things with their
Mhm.
thumbs like crazy. We were all doing it. Wow, forgot about that. Hmm. Hmm.
Kevin Frey, here's something for you. I caught a press release on last week about Epson expands its printer range with a flagship color A3.
it did what?
Said Epson expands its printer range with flagship color A3 inkjet MFP for high speed.
Oh wow.
What
Epson
is it?
inkjet.
Epson inkjet A3.
Yeah, A3 Workforce Enterprise AMC 10,000.
AMC 10,000?
Yeah,
I was just on with the engineers from Japan yesterday. We aren't talking about that.
this is a press release out of London for Epson.
Oh, you know what? I bet they're moving their 21,000 over, renaming it to the 1,000, the naming nomenclature of the new models. The That might be what it. I'll have to ask about that. I don't know. I've got them on a pretty big project right now, so I'm trying to
Um,
keep them on in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring up there wasn't a lot of points for it. It just said basically flagship color A3 inkjet for high speed. So
Yeah, they're moving all their architecture over to their AM architecture. So I'm guessing it's probably something to do in that arrangement there.
got it. So I'll just finish up with the news here. There's just a couple more. A&B Business Solutions bought a company. That company is the family business JDM Technologies out of Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
Hmm.
So I don't know much about A&B. Is anybody else?
Yeah, I've heard of both of them. I think maybe Kevin Morris might have, because he's out of Oklahoma.
Okay. And
Family
then,
owned. I think family owned. There's some, I don't know, but it's yeah. I've heard a little bit about them.
yeah, the acquisition was
JDM.
JD Young Technologies, and that
Oh,
was
JD
a
Young. JD
JD
Young.
Young.
Oh,
Sounds to
okay.
me like another white guy trying to sell his business.
Did you say white guy?
Yeah, didn't you hear? You saw the poster.
We saw the post. And the other press releases from last week was from Keaton and with their Arivia machines. Kevin, do you know much about this with it's Inpro Spider RFID?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We know about that. Well, we were on a meeting when they talked about it. It's just RFID. It's like a walk-up, authentication thingamajigger. What do you call it?
They had a lawn tech, right? Is that different?
Oh yes, it was
Elitech,
Elitech.
Elitech, and RFIDs are the two most common copier
Right.
prox card readers I've seen.
I don't know if it was that popular.
No,
But it was-
what's it called? Impro?
NEPRO's Spider solution.
Oh,
I've
I don't
never
remember
heard
the
of
word
it before.
spider. I remember talking about Elitech and that thing, but not spider. I don't remember spider. But it's a walk-up authentication, right? Like key cards and all that.
Inipro LLC, Spider MFP full pack. Yeah, it's a card reader.
Wow.
What does it say in the press release? Why do we need another one of those?
There is no reason to need another one of these.
Wow.
I can't understand it. What are you going to bring to the table? Maybe there's other newer cards. Maybe there are more advanced encryption cards that these new readers have to keep up with. But usually it's just a matter of updating their firmware.
Yeah, but authentication is going to go all the way back into the network here real shortly. I mean, it's going to make all those panel authentications look like yesterday.
Yeah.
I have a sign right above my desk that says, "All legacy technology fought its replacement and lost."
That's funny you say that because I was watching some show last night and it's present day. They walk into an office and they must have had like an Acer 386 with a cathode ray, and the guy had that on his desk because there was no embedded whatever the hell software. It was like old school, easier to secure internet surfing thing. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I just found it interesting that it reminds me of like the old Battlestar Galactica. You go with the old tech because it can't be hacked. Like getting a car with a carburetor, right? As opposed to all that electronic gizmo stuff, because you can fix the carburetor in the garage. You got to take the BMW in to be plugged in back to Stuttgart, that kind of stuff. So interesting. I don't know why I brought that up.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I think that's
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Well, it is. I mean, think of, okay, don't, I can go down that rabbit hole, but
The truth is that most of the people alive today can't even remember a token ring.
I said that the other day to somebody. I said ArcNet.
Oh, wow. You're okay.
I said,
You
yeah,
must
we're
have
gonna bring back ArcNet.
But I mean, think about it. If you just went back in time just a ways, I mean, my wife was a DOS programmer, and she was like, I was like, you want to do some DOS? And she's like I remember any of that? I'm like, that's exactly where all the new generation of technology is now. All the old technology has just been completely forgotten. Nobody even remembers how it worked.
Don't even get me going. Yeah, DOS programming was much more efficient than what it is now. I mean, it's software bloat is, well, for 30 years has been growing. When you had to squeeze everything into 640K, you were very efficient at doing what you had to do to get everything to work. Now, just get lazy.
I still remember my first DOS program. 10 print hello world, 20 go to 10.
Infinite loop. Everyone did it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And that's just right. That was right off the heels of taking your Texas Instrument calculator and saying hello.
Yeah.
What was it?
Upside down.
Yeah, upside down.
Listen to this. So in high school, we had computer class. All right, you guys are gonna love this. There were computers, but there was no screen. It was all on paper. So when you typed everything out, it came out on a brown piece of sheet of paper. So you put your basic code in, and then hit run, and it would actually type. There were no screens.
Oh, goodness.
Can you imagine that? Yeah. What was it? It was back. I don't even need to tell you. But yeah, we did everything. You ripped it out. You had to debug it on paper, type it back in, and let it go again. Boy. That's why I don't want to ever program again.
Was that like an underfunded school or something, or was that just normal?
Hey, we were the only ones who had it, and our school had a planetarium, so there was nothing underfunded about us.
You are right on. Okay, you won my heart on that one. There you go.
Yeah, I know. I thought everyone had a planetarium until I went to college. Anyway,
I got a
well,
question.
planetariums are like technology. Eventually, they're just expected.
oh, okay.
I got a question for Felix.
Sir.
Felix, it's been a couple weeks. What's going on your end?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Well, things are relatively quiet. I've been working on trying to figure out the best models that I can for our venture into getting, the robotics into the copier dealership. Trying to transpose a lot of the service cost modeling into the robotics world. I've got a meeting, as a matter of fact, coming up in 2 weeks with Vlad over at Quasi. So I'm excited about that. I think that'll be the impetus to really formalize a pricing document I think we can introduce to dealers that'll help them really navigate what it's going to cost to put these things out there and what kind of revenue they'll be able to generate, which I think is the exciting part. It's amazing that you can actually translate the pricing model of a copier onto the robotics world, because they've got so many similar aspects to them.
Those guys must have been geniuses who thought of that.
Yeah, so that, for me, that's the stuff that gets the juices going, right? Just trying to get all that squared away and watching it come to life. So
Can you elaborate on that at all? Is that top secret?
Well, I'm not sure how much more I can elaborate. I think really what I'm looking at is all the different aspects of a device, right? Whether it's cost on parts, cost or wear and tear, life expectancy on parts, consumables, trying to understand what the typical burden rate is going to be to service, how long service technicians would typically work on a device to get to resolution. So it's the typical models that you would use on the copier side.
Well, I would say that if you can present it in the copier world language, you just won the battle, because they won't change that language. Everything has to be put into their language.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to accomplish, right? So mean time or mean travel between failures, which is very similar to mean copies between failures, or mean time between visits. Just using the same vernacular that we would use on the copier side. I think that, to your point, Kevin, it just makes the transition a lot easier.
Yep.
So,
and it's not just a label, it's substantial. It's a real live thing, right? That the math is there to back it up, as opposed to just calling it something.
Yeah, I think that the challenge is going to be having real live data, right? I mean, we don't have a lot of data out there just yet to quantify or qualify the formulas and making sure that it's realistic. Because if a dealer is looking to make, I don't know, 60 points of margin, and we put a calculator together that shows here's what your cost is going to be, and if you want 60 points, here's what you're going to charge, and then they end up with 10 points, that'll be a problem. So the more we can qualify the information, the better.
Have you engaged anything like analytic software or any actuarial software towards substantiating your claim?
Not yet. So I think really what I'm trying to do at this point is just capture data, just understand what data is available from these manufacturers, from the OEMs, so that then I could figure out how do I take this and translate it and analyze it. So.
Yeah, what Felix said is that there is really no historical data in the field yet. There,
Yep.
you know, there really isn't. And even though there are units functioning and do have miles under the belt, they never looked at it, right? I
Yeah.
mean, no one ever asked, how long did those wheels last? I don't know. The answer is that they never break. So this is revolutionary, and yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. A curse because you can't be exact. Exactly what you said. We can't be exact. A blessing because no one can. There's nothing out there. So put a stake in the ground and then
Well,
keep
even
moving
even
and get
the
struck by
the
lightning.
copier OEMs, when they put together their pricing models,
They're
they
a lie.
always
They all
quantify
lie.
it. They all qualify with, hey, this is just based on, you know, information and nothing's guaranteed. So
Our
that's
most
their
current
disclaimer.
lie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a matrix of three-dimensional, always dynamic matrix. Warranty, uh, discounts. Oh, that board isn't covered. Oh, it's a $1,500 board. It's like all that stuff.
So,
But we're at the
Right.
ground floor, so that's yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Felix, let's go back to your days at
Ah,
Metropolitan, right? Right?
yeah,
When
MCS.
when they came out with the first MP 120, right? Which
Yeah,
I believe was one of their first plain paper machines, right?
yeah, yeah.
There was nothing behind it. It was the first bond plain paper they put out in the field.
Yeah. And from that perspective, it was kind of a shot in the dark. You overpriced as just as a
Yep.
safety net. And
Mhm.
as competition grew, there was a race to zero, right? How low can my pricing get? But the models also got better. So
Yeah.
Understood.
those are long ago days. Thanks,
Would
Art. Thanks, Art.
would you say the models got better or they became more familiar?
Um, I think the information got better. And what would happen, like for me at MCS back in the day, um, now I used real world information, what was going on with my population out in the fields. And so I knew exactly what data I was going to use as inputs to give me more realistic results as opposed to what the OEM was giving me. And so from that perspective, as time progressed, my information got better and my cost calculations got tighter, which meant I could make better margins.
Felix, would you say that was a local phenomenon that your margins got better because what you were able to analyze in your fleet versus the universal fleet?
That's exactly what I was just going to ask because I think that that's still subject to interpretation.
Right.
It is. And I think in the world that I lived in back then, that's really what I focused on, right? Is my local geography, my local population. I had a much better feel for what it was costing me,
Right.
so that I can put out some competitive pricing. But I think there are other data collection agents or DCAs. BEI back in the day gave you not only what your local uh, cost structure was, but it also gave you what they called the worldwide number so that you can see what the averages would be across the entire population of those products. So you could start getting a better feel for whether or not your costs were in line with everybody else's or if your specific costs were just way out of line.
Well,
Does that answer your question, Art? I mean, Greg?
yes, I would also ask, I mean, in today's world, does it matter? Right? My cost in Phoenix may not be the same as in Cincinnati or Jersey or Fort Myers or Pensacola, but doesn't matter because my costs in Phoenix are for me. So I should be able to dictate my margins based on my costs. And I think the biggest reason it was universal because it's easier to calculate, right? I mean, so even though the standard is a national or a worldwide standard, here in Phoenix, our standards are lower or higher or whatever,
and
right? But
and that's where the dealers have to make that distinction when they're doing that pricing model, is that their labor rate in certain markets
labor rate is a big
is
issue.
going to be
Yeah.
much higher. Yes. So
Well, I
if
mean,
you take New
failure
York
rates,
City, Philadelphia,
right?
but then you go to I don't know, Tampa or you know uh,
Imperial County in California where labor might be real cheap or whatever, right?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
the single location dealer, I think it's important, you can just focus on your local area. But when you've got a dealership that is, multi-state or multi-regional with different, to your point, cost of living, different cost structures, the dealer has to make some decisions. Do they want to average out their costs, or do they want to create, different pricing models for every region that they're in? And typically you'd want to average out your costs. Is what most of those multi-region dealers
do. They average it out because of it's easier to calculate in the financials, or is it because the technology does not allow them that freedom locally?
No, I think they average it out just because it's easier. I mean, you want some consistency, because if you've got a client that has offices in, multiple areas that you cover, with different cost structures, you don't want to create a cost for Phoenix and a cost for Tampa to that same client. You typically just want to create
for the client. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
for the client.
Okay.
And so you may take a little bit of a hit from a margin perspective in one location versus the other.
All right.
So
I was just trying to get to because technology really allows us that flexibility all the way down to the edge, right? We should be able to narrow it down to maybe even a count. But anyway, okay, cool.
you can, and in the copier world, there's a lot of data that is presented, through profitability statements, things like that are at the account level, at the machine level, and so I'm hoping that as we continue to grow in this world, that we're going to be able to, provide that type of data later on. I think, the OEMs, it's going to be interesting for me, at least, just to see what the relationship is going to be like from a service perspective for OEMs to dealers. Just to understand what that relationship is really going to be like, because those of us that have been in the copier industry for such a long time know what we want. We know the information that we want. We know what we need. We want to make sure that we're a profit engine. And when you're dealing with an OEM that's new to the market that maybe doesn't have a lot of data to give you, that could become a frustration point for a dealer.
Well, it's a frustration point, but it's a lot less frustration when working with an OEM who knows but doesn't give it to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Very true.
So we're in a position to actually dictate. This is very unique. I think you talked about it earlier in the session. We'll tell them what we need, and it's more likely to happen versus any other established OEM environment or ecosystem. Anyway, Art, were you going to say something?
No, I just want to get John into the call.
Yes.
He's been listening for a long time. What's going on at your end, John? Anything interesting?
Sorry, I was late. Yeah, I had a software install meeting at 4:00 on a Friday before Memorial Day weekend. It was yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Welcome to the world of copiers.
It's you got deadlines, you got to meet them. But yeah, I've been busy with phones, been busy with software, been busy with some new information about our document management system, and the AI component is undergoing a radical change. We saw some examples. So imagine putting Chat GPT on your document management system and saying, find all the invoices in this stack of paper and separate all the information based on customer.
Is this with DocuWare?
Yeah. And that's it. You've just trained your system on how to recognize all your important data, and that's coming in mostly via paper, but also some emails and stuff. So I thought it was pretty cool. It was for specifically for document management. It understood things, and if that works, and it's reasonably priced, I think that's going to be a knockout. It's going to be a game changer.
It's going to get rid of DocuWare. You won't need DocuWare.
It is a standalone product. It
Oh,
is a
wow.
yes, you can do that, and it will put information wherever you want it to put it.
Here's the phrase I love to use, and it's because of what is it, Copilot.
Yep.
It isn't AI in your spreadsheet, it's your spreadsheet in AI. So it's not AI in your DocuWare, it's your DocuWare in AI. And that's a nice way of saying you don't need DocuWare. You don't need Excel. I think, oh my gosh, this afternoon we did a whole bunch of analysis on spreadsheets that we didn't even need a spreadsheet. Wow, that's right. So I'm thanks for sharing that. But what you just said, it's a standalone system.
You know what my first thought on that when he said that, what I would be doing right now? I'd be picking up the phone to all these enterprise companies that have a ton of legacy scans that were botched that are now orphans in their system that they can't
Get
retrieve.
the orphans. Yeah.
Yeah, I would put a service together immediately that says we'll go in and we'll put your system in our AI, and guess what? Those documents will be living again, and you can actually recover because a lot of that stuff's in the vast wasteland of RUPS.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Jay,
Imagine once it gets your information, what questions you could ask it.
Oh. Or what questions it will answer before you ask it.
They won't even have to ask it.
We just did that this afternoon too. I mean,
please make my business 10% more, 50% more profitable.
No, throw all these numbers in and it comes out. You know what? You could, reduce your cost by 3% if you do this over here. What? Oh, that's AI. That's not,
And on a non-business note, ChatGPT just solved a 80-year-old mathematical theorem. I just read about it today, and it used its own information in a novel and innovative way that nobody else has thought of, and it found the theorem. It proved the theorem, and people are fascinated. If a person did this, they said they would be published in the prestigious journals and possibly Nobel Prizes and all stuff. So yeah,
it's every day. It's everyday thing now. I know it is cool, but the miracles happen every day so often that they're no longer miracles. It's like, okay, UFOs are real. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So basically, John, this separate system is just, if a person the company has DocuWare already, it's just going to tie into DocuWare and query.
Sure. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, is it really necessary to have DocuWare at that point? Like Greg said, if you could organize all your information instantly,
you may not even have. Right.
See, the thing is, nobody understands about AI is you don't have to organize anything. There is no organization. That word is gone now. The structured content thing is no longer needed with AI.
But
absolutely.
That's where nobody
relational database.
What's that?
It all has to be in one location, right?
No, it doesn't. It just has to be accessible.
Well,
it can be anywhere.
It has to be accessible.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be in a structured content. We used to have to structure it so that we could retrieve it. Yeah. Right? We had to put the breadcrumbs down to how to go get it. But now, why would you need to do that? You just drop it in.
Need to.
No, there's no need to do that anymore.
You don't need to. Art, we did it this afternoon. We didn't need any structure. We just dumped a big old huge folder of whatever data, whatever, and asked it, what can you tell me about this? And it spewed out stuff that I didn't ask. It answered things that I didn't ask.
I understand that. Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
So John, how would this work with all legacy scans?
The same way. I mean, it takes data from anything. It doesn't matter where it comes from. Those images, whether they are searchable or not, whether they're PDF, TIFF, text, JPEGs, it doesn't matter. It reads everything, understands it.
You could pick a calendar. You could pick a calendar year, and it would pick up everything, right? And then you could just grab that batch and say, from here, I want everything from A's and B's and C's and D's, however you wanted to do it, and it would autopsy everything right back to what you wanted, wouldn't it?
You could just tell it what your end goal is. What do you want? I want to see how many. Just do it, and boop, there it is.
Yep.
John, is this available now or
It
shortly?
is.
It is.
It is. It's available now, but in the interface that is creating it and using it is going to be about in 30 days, 30 to 60 days to make it more integrated into the system so you can use it in an easier way. That talking to the system and making it work, that's not available right now. You have to actually connect the dots manually. Eventually, that's all going to go away and you just talk to it or type it, just like ChatGPT. Say,
Yep.
show me my invoicing and billing and profitability for last year.
If they have all their invoices on a Google Drive or on a drive somewhere outside of DocuWare or outside of any application,
Yeah.
you just throw the LLM at it. Just do it
Yes.
and see
yes.
what happens.
Now it is not obviously not free.
Oh no, well,
It is billed by volume. So, so there are considerations.
on the
They gotta
DocuWare
make-
side,
They got to make money too. Yeah.
no, they don't. They're gone. That's why the end of SAS. That's why Salesforce is in trouble. That's why. That's just keep your finger on the pulse out there. They're all sweating because
Why
they
wouldn't
know
they?
they know this.
Yeah, they no longer control technology.
Yep. It has come down to the individual that this is, the power of AI, a hierarchy, a silo, red tape, bloat, scope creep are all enemies of AI, and AI kills all that. So no more political decisions, no more personality-based promotions, stuff like that. All that stuff goes away, or it threatens it. So that's why you see all these huge enterprises like, we don't want to do AI.
How much does that cost though?
Well,
If I have 50 years of historical data and I want that analyzed, who stores it and how much does that cost? There has to be some, obviously they're in a business to make money. There has to be some mechanism for giving you all this magic, right?
That's the magic. No,
Ah.
The problem is
energy.
the magic can be stolen.
Well, yeah,
The
but if everyone can steal everything, then nothing has any value.
That's exactly what the problem is with the economy. That's what they're all talking about.
Well, then
You can
it's not
take
very-
AI
it's-
right now and point it at a software package, and it'll tell you exactly how the program runs. It'll do an
Right.
autopsy in milliseconds.
Right.
I mean, it can
It'll
do the
make it
entire
better.
Library of Commerce in what, 40 seconds?
Already been
I
done.
mean-
Yeah.
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 Every spoken word since mankind's been around is what, 2 minutes?
Digest it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no IP, there's no copyright, there's no trademark, because you can't protect it. There's no way.
So how do I keep my data mine? I mean, obviously, I wouldn't, as a,
Oh,
as
now
a-
we're
as a dealer business, I wouldn't want my IP to be out there in the world. So how do I point?
John, if everyone has IP and it's open to everyone, your IP doesn't matter. No one's going to want it. The value you assign to it is worthless.
It's only your value.
It's only but that to me is valuable, right? Because now
Yes.
it comes to you, right? Us individuals. Okay, my IP is here in this thing that no one else can see because it's my AI, and I can surf the world around me using this. No one else can use it. That's
So how do I keep it mine?
It's yours. It's on the edge. It's whatever, right? It's
How do I
physical.
not let ChatGPT just index my entire customer
Well,
portfolio and make it available to anybody?
Okay, so
Well,
here's
first
the,
off-
that you brought up.
Go
You're
ahead.
bringing up a really, really big question because you know what? That's exactly what we're all facing right now.
Mhm.
There is no more barriers to. Okay, imagine if Hershey chocolate lost the recipe before Hershey's chocolate became available. What would be the cost to that company? That's an entire economy. You agree?
I agree. Absolutely.
And they're threatened by it. They're literally being threatened by it.
Do you
Everybody
think that's
is.
wrong?
No, I don't.
Oh.
No, you don't know what world I come from. I come from the world trying to protect it. I mean, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Is that the question you're bringing up is it's the naivety of the question that people keeps them lets them sleep at night. Because if they knew the answer to that question, they wouldn't sleep at night.
Ignorance
Okay.
is bliss.
Yeah, imagine how about all your life's work, all your money, all your retirement, all your anything is available to little Billy at 12 years old with his phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Imagine that do you remember? Okay, let's just make this simple. remember when we when networks started taking off and maturing, they said we've got 128K levels of encryption. Nobody knew what that was, but we sure felt rested by it, didn't we? Right?
Yes.
And then somewhere along the line, whoops, that didn't work. So now we got 256K now, right?
Mhm.
256 levels. Do you know how long it takes AI to go through it? There's not even a hiccup on the meter. Okay. There's not even a hiccup on the meter. So what you're talking about is little wars taking place on networks. So we were just talking about the other day. We were talking about one of my nuke location, how their networks run. Remember we were talking about the diodes, guys?
Yeah.
And this is how it's going to happen. You're going to have wars that are going to take place on protecting data, IP. So I made a saying, and I follow it religiously, and that is IP is today's modern currency. Okay, it's not about making something. It's not about selling something. It's about creating something. And if you don't believe it, just go on YouTube and look at what people create and make money on it. Okay, now people want to steal it, people want to exploit it, and people want to sue you for it, right? So, I mean,
Well,
I'll
that's
just
it. That whole system will go away.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
like
everything everything that we've done up to this point really is going to go away. I mean, IP suing people for stuff, and it really comes down to there is no such thing as originality, because there isn't. Everyone thinks that I thought of this, I wrote this song, it's original. It's the same three notes that 50,000 other things have done. I wrote this poem, it's original. No, it was done here. You know, I learned, I designed an airplane to fly a certain way. Yeah, well, the birds have been doing it for billions of years. There's nothing original. And we as humans have built that infrastructure to say this is original. It's the argument of art. Van Gogh made art because he liked art. It took an agent to say, you know, other people like this. We could sell this. Boom, 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 and it just blossomed into what it is now, right? It's you know, paying for something that someone puts out on a wall somewhere because someone else, a third party, saw you like it enough to buy it.
yeah, the
That all
exploitation of
goes away.
information.
Right, right. But when everyone can get all the information they want, and did you guys see that the latest thing where someone put up a Monet and said this is generated by AI, criticize it, and everyone criticized it because they all thought it was generated by AI when it was the original
Yeah.
Monet.
That's hilarious.
It's all in the beholder. We've made this up. We've created this false thing that AI is chopping down every month. I don't know where it's going to end. This is a crazy thing.
Oh yeah. And every day, every single day, what these LLMs are doing now that aren't even being talked about. I mean, we
Right.
literally have no. Yeah.
We passed mind blowing like 18 months ago, and people are still catching up. It's like, and I don't blame it. It's like we're in it every single day. I'm into it up to my eyebrows for 12 hours, 13 hours a day, and this still blows me away. The poor people that aren't doing any of these right now, it's going to hit them over the head one day. It's like, what the hell just happened? It's been happening. Anyway. Back to the original thing that you guys are talking about. It's a great time to be alive.
Mhm.
It is.
But everybody on this call is old enough to be in a generation where we've seen it from the beginning and all the way to
Right.
the destruction of us all.
Right.
Hey,
We'll
I just
all get to go out together and say, "Yep, it's all of it."
I just got one word for everybody to look into. It's Art's favorite word. So look into C2PA. It's for the content and provenance authenticity. And it's for protecting original content and determining deep fakes and stuff. So it's a way to claim original property. So just look into it. It's a new open source initiative. C2PA.
I think LinkedIn uses it.
Yeah, they do.
One of
You'll
those
see
guys use it. Yeah.
you see the little CR, and then you click and you say, hey, this is original picture, and you know where it's from, and it's my property. Well, it's LinkedIn's property at that point. But the point is, you know where the source is. It doesn't say absolutely 100%, but you just have a better idea where stuff came from.
Yeah, you
And
can just
and to your point, if Google's crawling the internet and it reads a C2PA, it says this is not content to be ingested into the LLM. So there are ways that are emerging like that.
Just
Okay,
change
so-
it to a PDF.
That's
So
interesting.
let's take an institution that's been long and dear to all of us. It's the legal system,
church?
right?
Oh,
No, the legal system.
Mhm.
So I get arrested for something really, really bad, and I have to be defended. I have to create a defense for myself, right?
Mhm.
So I go up and talk to the experts and say, okay, I need the very best attorney I can get. They said, okay, we're going to give you, would you rather have wisdom and success, or would you rather have forgiveness and repentance? Here's where I'm going with this. I say, I just want to win. So they say, okay, well then, would you rather have an AI defend you that can recite every single case that's ever been contested in court since the beginning of mankind, or would you rather go get me a lawyer like OJ had, a really good lawyer? I'm going to say, well, I want the AI, right? Because we know how the structure of the legal system works, right? It's a benchmark of our society, right? So this is in question to what you just said about, we know that we have this standard. Let me tell you about a standard. So I say, no, I want AI to defend me because it can litigate, it can recite every litigation that's ever taken place since mankind, and that will have the best case I can possibly have. Okay. So then they go get a judge, and the judge says, did you choose to use AI? Yes. I have to recuse myself because I don't know every single case that's ever been
That's right.
in court. So you're going to have an AI judge.
Right.
Okay. And this is exactly how I say, you can think it's a benchmark today, and tomorrow it'll be nothing but yesterday. Okay. Because that's how fast AI is going to walk right through it.
Yeah, but
I mean-
it's only a standard if everybody agrees on it, right? So the AI judge needs to agree with the AI attorney, right?
Yeah.
So a standard is only a standard if everybody agrees on it. So it's a never-ending battle. There's no doubt about it, right?
I think AI is blind.
Yeah, but is
Like,
AI going to come up
justice-
with, if the glove
justice
don't
is
fit, you
blind.
must have quit?
Right?
Is that an AI? No AI is going to come up with that.
No.
Well, he was arguing
pretty
in
good.
front of a human judge, in front of a human jury.
Jury,
So you
yes.
want a human to defend you because they're going to play on all that emotion. Where AI is just, there's no emotion. It's why
Right.
sales is changing. There's no emotion.
Well, in the legal
Yeah.
system in particular, I've read stories where attorneys are using AI and they get thrown out of court because the judge
Well-
says this is obviously AI, right? Whether it's
Well,
true or
and
not.
the sources were wrong. That was the biggest thing. They
Yeah,
left the
yeah,
sources.
it wasn't
Like,
true. Yeah.
There's no source here, you ding dong.
It's like a case that doesn't exist.
It was on the Rockford Files.
I know it's true because it was on the internet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, AI is going to have to work on weighted knowledge.
It's the worst it will ever be today. So it'll be 10 times better next week.
So what's
Very-
everybody
very nice.
got going on for Memorial Day weekend? Staying home, traveling? How about you, Kevin Frey?
I got a really big job ahead of me this weekend. My wife's flying off to a concert, and I'm left in charge of the 18-year-old dog. So, yeah, I got a right hand. I'm busy.
Will
That's a big job.
will the dog be there when she gets back?
If it is, I may not be. One of us will or won't.
How about you, Greg?
Oh, I'll be here working all weekend. I got contracts. I got there's a shitload of stuff.
How about John? John, what are you up to?
I don't know. I think we're probably going to do some grilling, do some smoking. Actually, I made some smoked wings when was it? Last fall. Fantastic. Perfecting that recipe.
We can
That's
come
a
over and
shame
help
you're
you.
so far away.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can quality control that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Kevin Neal, you?
I got Kevin beat by 6. So I got 6 animals. So we're not 18 years old, but I got my hands full. But most importantly, Memorial Day, right? Killed in action, and the people that gave their lives for our
Oh,
freedoms. That's the reason for the day, right? And I never ever forget that, right? So that's but have fun, enjoy your lives. And they gave their lives for us to have this opportunity.
Amen.
Well said.
And Felix, yours?
You're muted.
You're muted.
It's tough to follow Kevin Neal with that kind of a statement, but
Yeah,
I am
right.
going
You
to
can do
enjoy
it.
the weekend with my kids and my grandkids. They'll be coming over to the lake house, and although it's going to be a rainy weekend, but I'm also going to be smoking some meat and doing a little grilling and trying to figure out how to keep the grandkids entertained, especially if it's raining. But it'll be a good weekend.
Good, good. And
Art,
Dan,
what are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry.
me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Art?
I am gardening, planting. Gonna go to a parade.
Nice.
Going to wake up early, get outside early, enjoy the sun coming up. And do a lot of work outside. Keep a
I may
nice
watch
place.
Sergeant Saving Private Ryan. I may do a few war movies this weekend. Yeah. Good point. Thanks for reminding me, Kevin, because I usually do that. That'll be cool. Is Dan here? I heard you say Dan.
Yeah, Dan, he's up on the screen, but his mic is on. He's got his funky picture up.
Sorry, guys. I joined a little bit late, so I didn't want to be disruptive.
You're never disruptive, dude.
Good evening, guys.
What do you got going on for the weekend?
Not too much. I think I might take my dog to the beach and continue working on my various different apps and agents and get them all humming and talking to each other.
Love it.
That's great. That's great. Hey, so we're 10 after 5. We are 10 minutes past the witching time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. It's always a great chat. We love talking about technology. And we'll be back next Friday. Please like, follow, and share. We'll see you next Friday, everyone.
See you, everybody. Be safe.
See you guys.
Come on.